Hello, greetings to you wherever you are. I'm John Smith in Sheffield, Northern England. It is astonishing and alarming that we enter the third decade of the 21st century without a concrete theory of superexploitation, and because of this, without a usable theory of imperialism. One reason for this is that there is no theory of superexploitation in Marx's Capital. To develop what he called a general theory of capital, Marx assumed a single unified economy in which both capital and labour are perfectly mobile, and that all commodities, including labour power, exchange for their full value. But in many places, he said that capitalists violating this law of equal exchange by paying wages below the value of labour power is one of the most important factors stemming the fall in the rate of profit. Yet he postponed study of this to another volume of Capital, which he never got to write. Another reason for the lack of a theory of superexploitation is that Lenin's theory of imperialism has often been reduced to a theory of monopoly capitalism. When Lenin was writing and fighting, the colonies were pre-capitalist societies. Superexploitation of wage labour was confined to their mines and the plantations. But in the neoliberal era, superexploitation has become a defining feature of globalised industry. This transformation has been driven by capitalist firms in imperialist countries, seeking to increase profits not by investing in more advanced technology, but by replacing relatively high-wage workers at home with much lower-paid workers overseas. This is a deepening of capitalism's imperialist trajectory. So it is bitterly ironic that most Marxists in imperialist countries think that the very concept of imperialism is no longer relevant. My chapter in this anthology, building on imperialism in the 21st century, argues that superexploitation must be given central place in the theory of imperialism that we so desperately need, alongside and even prior to monopoly, since the latter, important as it is, concerns the unequal distribution of surplus value between capitals, not its extraction from living labour. Since so many workers' consumption goods are now produced by workers in low-wage countries, it is their conditions, their wages, their productivity that now determines the value of labour power in imperialist countries and everywhere else, to a far greater extent than in the past. Focusing on the reproduction of labour power in different national settings opens up the path to issues at the heart of social reproduction theory, in particular the role of women's unpaid domestic labour and of the so-called informal sector in cheapening the value of labour power that transnational corporations are so keen to exploit. This fosters the evolution of Marxism into a unified theory of all forms of capitalist exploitation, and thus to the unification of all struggles into a movement capable of replacing the dictatorship of capital with the power of working people. Thank you.